Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well, we have a little problem here, which is it's like that, like catch 21 or something, where if you go that way to do the right thing, that means you're gonna be annihilated, or something like that. And you're gonna realize exactly what I mean when I'm gonna just read you the title of this article that I have, coming from the New Voice of Ukraine from today, March 8, 2023. This is the headline. Russia will rely more on nuclear weapons due to military losses in Ukraine, US intelligence says. Now, setting aside the fact that nobody should believe the US intelligence, that's because of its prior or its record of not telling the truth. I refer you to the war in Iraq, for instance. Now, what's going on? So let's analyze this title here, the headline. Russia will rely more on nuclear weapons due to military losses in Ukraine. So that means if they keep losing, they will use nuclear weapons. Is there any other meaning to this? So we'll rely more and more more on nuclear weapons, that I will use them because I'm losing in Ukraine. That means Russia should not lose in Ukraine, because if Russia loses in Ukraine, then they're going to use nuclear weapons. Do we want Russia to use nuclear weapons? No, because therefore it must not lose in Ukraine. I mean, how you want me to interpret this? Therefore, Russia cannot lose in Ukraine. That's what I said before. What do you mean losing in Ukraine? I mean, again, setting aside the fact that Russia is not losing in Ukraine. But if it starts losing, yes, they're going to use nuclear weapons. Do you think that Russia will accept going back to where it came from and write their history books as, we lost to Ukraine, even though there is not Ukraine, it's NATO and a lot of other sponsors over there? No, they will not do that. And I guarantee you that if Putin and the current leadership in Russia is there, and they don't get rid of those guys, Russia will not get to that point where they say, you know what, how about we go back where it came from, we're going to pay about $800 billion in reparations to Ukraine. Ukraine could become a NATO country. You're going to have access to our nuclear sites 24/7. We are going to just go to Tahiti, and you guys are going to take over the Russian nation, and you're going to take care of it. How about that? Do you think that's what's going to happen? Do you think the Russians will do it willingly? No. If they lose on the territory of Ukraine, let's put it this way, and they're pushed back to the 24th of February's borders, 2022. Let's say, I think that the Russians will say, we will use nuclear weapons, everybody back off. I think that's going to be the point where they say, everybody back off, we're going to use nuclear weapons. You got 3 days. In 3 days, that's it. You're going to see it coming. And I don't care what you say. The Americans will say, we're going to use them too. They're not going to use shit. And I tell you why. These weasels here I'm talking about. I tell you why. Because they have more to lose than those guys. Do you think that the guy here who's a senator, or a guy here who has, let's say, about $200 million, he would like to die, and his family and his fortune? No, his life, his family, his fortune, his empire is on top of this beautiful planet populated with people with humans, let's put it this way. Okay? Unfortunately, but hey, I read in somewhere that supposedly we are the greatest creation of the Judeo God. Is that what it is? I read somewhere that. I'm not sure if that we should be proud of ourselves. If we are the best creation, then I don't know what to tell you about that, man. Anyway, so let's go back to this thing. So these guys have more to lose than those, the elites here. And the elites will say, oh, hold your horses. Do you think the generals who are in charge and everybody listens to them and they give orders and they're like gods, literally like gods in the army? Everybody listens to them, whatever. Do you think that those guys want to die? You have a great movie, or you have a good, I don't know, make loving session. Do you want that to end? Why would you want that to end? You don't want that to end. All right? Maybe someone is having a bad situation, would say it, but not these guys. And who could that be? A country like North Korea, not North Korea, Kim Jong-un, the woodchuck, because he's doing just fine. He's having sex. He's right there. He's making love. Why would he want that to end? No, maybe the population would like that to. Oh, fuck, better dead than being under these guys. So I'm pretty sure there's some strata in the society here who think the same way. Well, instead of having this kind of life, I hope everything goes away. But not the elites. Elites have the power. So yeah, it's true. It's true. But then what should you do? That's why maybe they hope somewhere they're going to topple all the leadership of Russia with an uprising like Iran, like Ukraine 2014, like they're trying right now in Tbilisi, in Georgia. They try to do all these kind of things. And when that's going to happen, they hope that their people will become over there the leaders and they will do exactly what I told you. Do you think that Russia will say, okay, we lost, we're going to write our history that Ukraine, Zelensky, he won, he beat us? Do you think that? I mean, really? I mean, if you believe that, I think it's just, you know what, as I always say, give me $20,000 now. I give it to you back tomorrow with 3,000% interest. We're going to meet tomorrow for sure. So let's see what else is this in this article. So according to the report, heavy casualties on the battlefield in Ukraine have degraded Moscow's ground and air-based conventional capabilities and increased its reliance on nuclear weapons, end quote. Okay, then don't fight anymore, because if you fight, they're going to lose and they're going to use nuclear weapons, and then we're all toast. All right? So stop providing those guys with fan the war, like the Chinese say. You guys, you prolong it, the Russians, you prolong it, and it can turn ugly. However, the assessment goes on to say that Moscow will continue to pose a major cybersecurity threat to the United States. Well, okay. That is like... that is compared with atomic nuclear war, the cyber blah blah blah. Okay. Earlier on March 8th, The Guardian reported that according to the US intelligence, trustworthy, Russia won't achieve any significant territorial gains in Ukraine throughout 2023. And again, these guys have somewhere a crystal ball. They know, so that's why I would like them to tell me the winning numbers for the next lottery drawing. Okay, I want to win some money. Nothing below 20 million, okay? Below $80 million, I will be insulted. More salted than insulted. Following major setbacks and heavy losses in the battlefield. Again, the war is not over, my friends. The war is not over, as Rambo said in, I can't remember, Rambo 1, 2. It's not over until I say it's over. Okay, the same here when he yells at his chief, the Weasel guy. His colonel, I think he's a colonel. It's not over until it's over. And he started crying. I think it's that Rambo 1 is in that little police department, I think, over there. That's one. I think that's where it is. Or is the other one where he comes from Vietnam and he beats the shit out of that guy. And again, I think the colonel comes and levitates into the room. And Rambo, it's not over until I say it's over. The same here. It's not over, my friends. Like in a marriage, you know, you can say, oh, it's bad. Well, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad, it's good. You know, you have to see the trend. Is it still over there? Is it, you know, the same here. It's not over. Like the turtle and the hare, you know, the fable of Aesop. Not Aesop, Aesop. The same. It's not over when you cross that line. And Putin said, well, it's not over. We're going to talk when it's over, if it's going to be over. All right, my friends. So again, the title here, the headline, is implies that you can't win. I mean, what is the headline? Russia will rely more on nuclear weapons due to military losses in Ukraine. U.S. intelligence says. Therefore, they can't lose unless you want them to use nuclear weapons. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.